Right. Obviously, when people see this interview, they'll already know officially you're going to be a coach for Cloud9, but crucially, you're going to be like the strategic coach. So, in a sense, it's more like in your wheelhouse. You don't have to do like a lot of things you described that you thought you failed in Fnatic sound like that's head coach duties, and you didn't necessarily know what to do there, or it was hard to adapt to. Just give us some basic thoughts. Like, what's the thinking of going to Cloud9, and was one of the main reasons because Perks is going to be there?
Well, like I said, I had this thing with Cloud9 since a long time now, right? 2017. Like I helped them after we failed getting out of groups, I had a lot of energy in me. It'd been a long year and a half of working on all of this stuff that I wanted to give back to another team, another Western team. And at the time I talked to Fnatic, it didn't seem so as keen as Cloud9 was. So I tagged on to Cloud9. I helped them. They got out of groups by themselves. I didn't do anything, and I didn't do anything with quarters and all that, but I kind of helped them. I was along with them, and I tried to help with whatever I could and kind of find my own space. And I think Jack was really like that. And then he tried to sign me for, like when I joined TSM, he actually tried to sign me for C9, but I wanted to join with Jesper, and Sneaky was there at the time. So that was not possible. And then when I went back to Origin, C9 already wanted me. So we always had this relationship. So actually, no, it wasn't because Perks and Sven are in Cloud9 that I joined Cloud9. I love Sven and Perks, and I'm happy that they're there. It's a bonus. It's a great fucking bonus, but it's not the reason I joined Cloud9, because maybe I feel like it's time for me to, take on a role of a bit less responsibility, and sort of like take on a bit of a slow down approach and just sit back and learn. And I'll probably accelerate myself into that same, let's fucking win, guys, but I think it's also good for me to learn how to be a number two, and I think Rangover is, I played against him. I think he was fucking annoying to play against. I remember. Especially because of early game and stuff, like he was rough, man. He was really smart too. Amazing. Learned a lot from him, and I'm super happy to work with him. And I think we can do a good job. I don't really know what my role is going to be. I don't think he knows either. I don't think he knows what his role is going to be, because a team is about empowering your players, and what the best way of doing that is going to be up to us to figure it out together. And that's really all I can tell you. It's not really. I don't really know what my role is going to be within the team.
Okay.
So,
this might sound like a weird question, right? Because in theory, since season 9, when G2 won MSI and went to the final of Worlds, and every time they played Koreans, they were beating them, which in your era was supposed to be impossible when you were in G2, when you were in TSM, etc. Like, because of that, I actually feel like in some ways it's given other teams, while it's given them hope that they could do it, it's also kind of given them almost like a false pressure, because there's only one G2. Like, that lineup was just, we've described it in this show, they were fucking unbelievable. Like, they just had something special about them. Even the style was so unique. So I always felt like actually it was teams like Fnatic, like the other European teams, like the best American team, who the other fans would be looking at them like, right, why didn't you win MSI, or why didn't you go to the Final Worlds? It's like, that felt a bit implausible, right? Do you look now at the current landscape? Obviously, you're going to Cloud9, you've got some big name players there, you've got Perks included. Is it on the table? Like, is it silly to think that, like, an NA team could win Worlds, could do these enormous things?
One thing that I have come to learn over the years is that when I look back, I don't really see what I won and what I didn't win, and when I lost and when I didn't lose. Like, for example, this year for me at Fnatic was a failure, even though I think we did fucking great on paper, right? Like, we actually did a good job. We put out a really good fight and we did a good job, but it's the heartfelt feeling that, you worked through tough times and you pulled through and you felt like a team, all this blah, 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 blah. I'm not going to go over it again, but I think that's more what I'm looking for right now. And, I'm sure we can achieve great things, but, first and foremost for me is getting that in line.
Do you actually, as a coach, still have the mentality you had before? Like, for example, you're going to C9 now, mate. Is the whole goal to just wreck TSM? I mean, Bjergsen's a coach now, mate. That would be a classic example of one of your past rivalries, right? Is it now to just wreck all your past? If you play G2, are you going to try and wreck? Is that the logic?
No, it's not. I think I'm changing. Yeah, I think I'm changing.